Hey guys, Lord Naren, White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my Line of God Daily Diary series. As usual, before I discuss what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to read you a chapter from the Bible. Today it will be the book of Psalms, Psalm 64. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear, and shall declare the work of God, for they shall wisely consider his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord, and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. I think one of the verse that I like from this chapter is the first one. Psalm 64:1 says, hear my voice. This is David speaking, saying, hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And I think that this is something that David really hits the nail on the head, is he's so devout in terms of asking God to help him achieve victory in the test of his life. And that is absolutely correct. One of the previous chapters of Psalm, David writes, he says here in Psalm 60:11, he says, give us help from trouble, from vain is the help of man. Next verse, through God we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies. So that idea that David says to God, he says, man is vain. And I added in my interpretation of that chapter that man's help is one of quid pro quo, saying, I'll help you for this if you help me for that. But God's help is free of charge. God's help is for the worthy, is for the pure, is for those who humble themselves to him and recognize that he is the answer. So that's what God's help is. So, excuse me, my cat licks his own. So that's one of the things that makes God so powerful. Is I love that line from the movie True Grit. If you've watched this series, you'll know that I've referenced this line a few times. It's that the actress in the movie says, the main actress says, the heroine says, nothing in this life is free but the grace of God. And that's the truth. And that's what makes Jesus' sacrifice so powerful, is that he gave it to man free of charge. And for the worthy, they look and they say, God, I look and I say, God, Jesus gave his life for me. That what innocent sins I have committed in my life. Like you think like this. I think, like, what's an example of an innocent sin? When I was growing up, my dad might say something like, go to sleep by 9, and I know I'm not going to, and I say, I will. And I say, then I sleep at 10 instead of 9. It's a lie, right? If you know you're not going to do it. So that's why I say, now even those lies I look to clear from my life, as I say now that my heart is perfect with the Lord my God. And that's the idea there, is that Jesus gave his life free of charge, that all men can be saved from sin through his sacrifice. He offered his life unblemished to God as a ransom for many. And that's what's so powerful about it, like I said, is that when you are worthy of heaven, Jesus says no man can go up to heaven except he who came down from heaven, even Jesus himself who came down from heaven. So even as myself, as God incarnate who has come down from heaven, I look and I say, what does it mean that Jesus gives his life for me? It's not quid pro quo that I have to go do this, that, this, that. It's that if he did this for me, and how much peace he gives me, and love he gives me, I owe it to myself to give everything I've got for my people. Because if the Lamb can do that for me, and the Lamb can do that in general, what excuse could I have? No excuse, right? So that's how I look at it. It's not quid pro quo. It's that God took care of me so that I can take better care of myself. And then that is the way my people will grow. And so I'm so grateful to Jesus for that, because he is the perfect Son of God. And so with that, I'll go ahead and end the reading of Psalm 64 there, and continue now to Psalm 65. To the chief musician, a psalm and song of David. Praise waiteth for thee, O God, in Zion, and unto thee shall the vow be performed. O thou that hearest prayer, unto thee shall all flesh come. Iniquities prevail against me. As for our transgressions, thou shalt purge them away. Blessed is the man whom thou choosest and causest to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of thy house, even of thy holy temple. By terrible things in righteousness wilt thou answer us, O God of our salvation, who art the confidence of all the ends of the earth, and of them that are afar off upon the sea, which by his strength setteth fast the mountains, being girded with power, which stilleth the noise of the seas, the noise of their waves, and the tumult of the people. They also that dwell in the uttermost parts are afraid at thy tokens. Thou makest the outgoings of the morning and evening to rejoice. Thou visitest the earth and waterest it. Thou greatly enrichest it with the river of God, which is full of water. Thou preparest them corn, when thou hast so provided for it. Thou waterest the ridges thereof abundantly. Thou settlest the furrows thereof. Thou makest it soft with showers. Thou blessest the springing thereof. Thou crownest the year with thy goodness, and thy paths drop fatness. They drop upon the pastures of the wilderness, and little hills rejoice on every side. The pastures are clothed with flocks. The valleys also are covered over with corn. They shout for joy, they also sing. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So this is really quite powerful. Why? Because of the fact that actually, I'm not sure that I should offer analysis. I was thinking one of the verses I might want to offer analysis about, but looking at it now, I think that I would be better served not offering analysis on this chapter, and instead moving to the outro of this video. And so that I want to go ahead and end the Bible reading there for today, and transition over to what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video. Since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I worked my software developer job, and I created this Daily Diary video for 7/20/23. And with no further achievements since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light to be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.